there was an article that is making the rounds today. I first saw this from Grums, and I also saw Hypnotic talking about it tonight on his stream. And I was like, yep, this is the article that everyone's going to be chatting about. Because as a content creator, we live for this kind of ridiculousness. This comes to us from PC Gamer, and it says, Gunner Game of the Year, Stellar Blades mods are 41% smut, ensuring gamers will never see the light of heaven. It is apparently always possible for there to be less clothing. Now, again, right off the bat, we are seeing a game's Journo crying and reeing because the game is insanely successful. And I think that's even an understatement. I don't think anybody, even Shift Up themselves, the developers of Stellar Blade, could have imagined in their wildest dreams that this game would be approaching 200,000 concurrent players in launch week of Stellar Blade for a game that's been out for over a year on the PlayStation 5 already. That is insane numbers, exceeding my expectations by well over 100,000. I thought that this was going to be maybe maxing out at like 85, maybe 90,000, maybe on its best day. I was way off with this one. And the journals are coping and seething and trying to find an angle to get mad at gamers for enjoying the game. You know that meme where they're just like yelling at you while you're playing the game and you're just over there, it's like, I'm just playing the game. That's what journals are doing right now. Stellar Blade finally hit PC 2 days ago, giving everyone a chance to do whatever it is this game is actually about. So right here off the bat, we clearly have a journalist that has never even picked this game up and played it. They just see hot girl Unfortunately, no one knows what that is because the entirety of discourse surrounding it is about the main character's butt. What circles do you run in, Joshua Wollens? Because sure, Eve is a beautiful protagonist, modeled after a Korean model. But the game is actually good too. Because if it was the case to just have beautiful women in games to make it an insanely popular game, don't you think the First Descendant would have equal or better numbers than Stellar Blade right now? Don't you think that every other game company out there would be making beautiful games, beautiful girls in games to copy this formula? If you don't have to have any good talent behind it, like look at this. First Descendant, while it was good initially, once people found out that they turned it into a gacha game and the mechanics turned into it's just buy more, it fell way, way, way down. There was a update with new bathing suits here, and then people were like, nope. And this was the initial launch when everyone's like, it's a hot girl. And then it completely died off because people are like, the gameplay loop is not actually that great or not that fun. And by the way, 264,860 concurrent is a pretty good number until you consider it's a free-to-play game. So yes, that's good, but it also doesn't necessarily translate to sales directly. But anyways, don't you think every game company would do this if you could guarantee to get hundreds and hundreds of thousands of sales? Well, now that the butt is on PC and you know what that means, mods. And if I were to make a book right now on how many of those mods somehow made Stellar Blade even more not safe for work than it is out of the box, which I got to pause on that and say, what is not safe for work about a beautiful woman? I mean, sure, she wears scantily clad clothing, but I mean, welcome to the female form. And sometimes I know it can scare you guys. It can scare these journalists off. Sometimes a girl can be beautiful. It's not illegal to be beautiful. Stop acting like it is. If she was a fat chick, would you say it's not safe for work? No, you wouldn't say that at all. You'd be like, stunning and brave, fat chick in this game. Great. I suspect I wouldn't make very much money. Not least because you've probably all read the headline. By intense scientific calculus counting, fully 96 of the 234 mods, M 8-bit Eric M 41%. Can we also call it a Mercante dash? That currently exist for Stellar Blade are marked as adult. Okay. I'd argue that that's lower than I expected it to be honest, going into a game that never had the adult content that so many people have been asking for in it. 41% is less than half of the mods. You got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. And frankly, some of the ones that aren't marked as adults are probably not safe for work. Of course they are, bro. How do you feel about Eve feet hands? How would Eve feet hands be not safe for work? How would that not be safe for work? By the way, I tagged Kata in that one today because Eve feet hands is actually a real thing. Eve feet hands. Yeah, that's feet. She's wearing a skin suit, but not anything sexual. Just the skin suit is actually clothing on her. YouTube, in case you're wondering. It's all fair game. I don't understand. Thomas Brown with a great point. Smash, somehow I don't remember them bitching about the nude mods for the Oblivion remasters. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? 182 says, LOL, the pregnant mod is funny. The pregnant mod is weird and funny, but weird. Good. Would you discuss that with your grandparents over Christmas dinner? No. Why the fuck would I talk about Stellar Blade and a hot girl in a video game with my grandparents? What? Well, first off, my grandparents, rest their souls, are all passed. But if they were alive, they wouldn't give a shit. They'd be like, that's not what they care about. Why would that be a conversation for the dinner? Why would that be a conversation for the dinner table? What the hell? These people are so weird. Def Cracker says, I would. Well, true. Hypnotic said he would too, so to each their own, I guess. The majority are, well, what you expect. Various ways to make Eve and other women in the game various levels of nude, with the popular level being fully. Okay. Let the people enjoy their single-player game how they want to enjoy their single-player game. How does it affect you that someone else is allowed to do a mod and make Eve nude? You will never see it. You won't watch them play it. It's not going to be allowed on social media platforms for it to be promoted and shared. What are you afraid of? Are you scared that there are other people in this world enjoying things? That's strange. That's strange. Now, going back to the RuneScape Pride events thing, it's like you're pushing that out into the game for everyone on an MMO game, and it's being forced into everyone's game. This is optional for a single-player game. Two very different worlds that people try to push together and say, oh, it's all the same thing. It's all the same. Let people enjoy the games how they want to enjoy the games. If people in RuneScape want to create a Pride event in their own local communities and get together and do standing around, whatever they do in RuneScape for a Pride event, have at it. I don't know what you even do for that, but great. But for a single player modding experience of Stellar Blade's Eve or other characters, what's the issue here? Someone did put her in an apron, though, which I suppose leaves something to the imagination. This guy's probably watching it being like, ugh, gross, even an apron. There are also a lot of main menu replacers that just put hardcore smut on one variety or another right there on the home screen. If that's your bag, great. What is the problem here? This is such a weird approach to a very basic thing that literally every PC game in the modding scene has available to it. Did you not expect this to happen? I mean, literally, when Stellar Blade first got announced for PS5 exclusivity, the first thing people were asking is, when's PC coming out so we can mod it? That was literally the first question. People weren't like, oh yeah, PlayStation 5, I can't wait to buy it. It was, when's the PC port coming? That was the first question. Now look, I have no issue. Oh, I bet. Here we go. Here comes the cope. I have no issue with what adults do in the privacy of their own home. If you want to turn your copy of any game into an overstimulating carnival of omnipresent erotic delights, please do so with my blessing. But I am a tad mystified. I do. Okay, so this, you're saying right here, this just contradicts yourself. I'm not judging you, but I am judging you. I do wonder what kind of lifestyle it is that leads a person to turn a video game main menu into hardcore pornography. I wonder what kind of lifestyle it leads to someone to become a games journalist to complain about people modding their single player games. Me and you are not the same. At some point, are you so inured to sexuality that you have to cram it into every available crevice to feel anything? Would you not find more fulfillment if the erotic were less ubiquitous, more rare, more precious? At least we'll always have Thomas the Tank Engine mods, which you're trying to be funny changing this topic, but we all know what you're doing here. Apparently not, because the top 10 mods for Stellar Blade are all adults only, as they should be. What the hell? What do you expect out of Stellar Blade? And they've been downloaded about 250,000 times collectively as of this writing. We are the majority. Gooners, go on, Gooners. Let no one dim your sparkle. And oh, the irony, by the way, of showing a screenshot of Baldur's Gate 3 here, where all these journos were oogling at the bare sex scenes and promoting that and pushing all the mods they possibly could for that one because it fit their ideologies and agenda. But God forbid you, first off, why are you not showing a screenshot of Eve here? What kind of article talks about this stuff and doesn't even show her? It's almost like you're afraid. You're afraid to show what Eve could look like. Wild. Wild stuff. I can't with some of these people. I swear. Andrew. Okay. Mission confirmed. Thomas the Tank Engine, Rule 34 in 3, 2, 1. Oh, no. This is not the end of it. We talked about it last night with the journos coping and seething about the success that it's having. Now we're talking about their coping and seething about the mods that it has with it. They're going to keep pushing and they're going to keep losing because that's what they do when it comes to Stellar Blade. And they hate gamers even more for it because they know that this flies in the face of their ideology.